Hey, Nick LaRovere here with Oculus Films, and today I wanted to talk about director of photography prep. What do I do to prep for a short film or a project so I can make sure that I get the best result possible for the director? The first thing is prep with the director. So it's super important. You're gonna prep a little differently for a corporate or a commercial type job compared to a film. But generally, whoever's in charge of the creative vision, you're gonna speak with them, right? I'm just gonna assume it's a short film because that's what I'm working on right now. So I'm gonna speak with the director. I'm gonna get any kind of references that I can. I'm going to try my best to understand their vision for the project, like the look, the feel, the color palette, everything that you can imagine. Sometimes directors have more of a concrete vision with the visuals and some don't, because some are more actor-oriented, more script or more visual. I'm super visual when I direct, so, but not everyone is like that. So some may be willing to be way more open to suggestions. Like, I don't know, I didn't really have a thought for that, but you can come in with your own vision and ultimately it's up to them, right? But I think it's good to come in with your own ideas of how you could make the film as good as it possibly could be. So backing up just a little bit, the first thing I do is I'm gonna read the script, and then I'm gonna speak with the director, and based on what I've read in the script, I'm gonna say, hey, do you have any visual references? Do you have any movie scenes? Any kind of TV show references? Anything that is the visual storytelling that will help inform my advice to the director or my input or my planning. So I'll take whatever references they provide to me and the script, and I will then create my own reference. I'll create a lookbook for them. I usually will just do, like, if there's a dramatic difference between scenes, I might do a one-page lookbook reference just for those scenes if they have really different looks to them. So it includes a color palette and some photo references, maybe some screenshots from different films, and I provide that to them. And it's sort of a way for me to communicate and confirm, am I on the same page with you? Do you like the direction that I'm going with this? Or they might come back and say, actually, that's not really what I was thinking. I was thinking more of a cool tone, not a warm tone. Oh, okay. Or I was thinking, actually, I'd like to do this in black and white. Okay, well, that's definitely not where I was thinking. So I'm glad that I was able to get that information out of them. That's why I do that reference. It doesn't take very long, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and it's totally worth it. It's also a useful tool for communicating vision as DP to the rest of the crew, especially lighting, like G&E crew, because they need to know what I'm after so that they can make suggestions to me. Like, I know and understand equipment to some extent, but I don't know every little piece of equipment or every option that's available out there. I can go to my gaffer and I can say, hey, here's the look that we're going for. Here's what I was thinking, generally speaking, like in a rough lighting plan. Do you have any suggestions? Do you have any thoughts on this? Is there a better way to accomplish this? And a lot of the time, right, they're the best at rigging and knowing all the lighting equipment, different options. So they can then make suggestions based on that may be better than whatever I came up with, because my knowledge is limited. So that prep with the director is really important, because the information that I take from the top, from the director, gets passed down all the way to the bottom so that we can accomplish the look that they're going for. So prep with the director and understanding what they're going for is important, because that is gonna go and trickle from the top down. So as a DP, I pass the information down all the way down the line so that everybody knows what's going on and what we're trying to do. That's why that's really important. As a DP, I don't think it's a necessity to do this, but I think what I do is I will provide tactful suggestions to the director on maybe things that I think based on reading the script. First with visuals, because that's my area, right? Of things we could do that would help tell the story better. So they may have one idea and I may suggest, I think if we did this instead, or we did this slightly differently, then it would help tell the story better. For example, I suggested on this film I'm working on called The Shifting, I said, I think what we should do is we should do all the close-ups of the main character on a super wide lens, because what it's gonna do is it's gonna really make us feel like we're up in his face and up in his business. And normally that may be kind of like off-putting, but the character is wearing a gas mask, and so are the other characters. So I was trying to think, how can we make it feel like we are with and kind of connect to that character more intimately, without ever seeing their face or the eyes until the very end of the film. And I thought, well, if feel like we're up in their business, we're there with them, I think that would help. So we did that. And on the other side, I suggested if we use really long lenses for all of our wide shots, so that everything, because a longer lens is going to compress the space, it's going to bring everything closer together, like front to back. And so it's going to feel more claustrophobic. So we wanted that feeling of claustrophobia and kind of loneliness as the character was traveling, because a lot of those really wide shots or long shots are going to be of him traveling. So those are an example of my suggestions to the director, and to help tell the story better. And he said, yeah, I love that. Let's go ahead and do that, because they have a lot going on. So anytime you can contribute something creatively like that, obviously don't force your concept down their throat, make your suggestion and then kind of go with their decision. But anytime you can contribute creatively, that's awesome. That's why you're there, not just to like oh, I know how to run the camera and set up the light. You're a visual storytelling partner for the director to help them make the best story possible.